everybody that spoke before me just now, thank you guys so much. They all did this very, very last second. I gave them little to nothing as far as info goes. I really need a staff. I don't have a staff at all. I have 2 friends that are helping me, so I'm a little bit underprepared. I have to read off a piece of paper. Is anybody going to be mad about that? You'd be mad if I kind of look at a paper every once in a while? Am I going to ruin anybody's day? Okay. All right, well, hi. My name is Matt Farmer. And, yeah, I'm running for the Texas House of Representatives, District 64 in the Democratic 2018 primary. I'm 24 years old. I've lived in North Texas my whole life, and I've been in Denton for 5 or 6 years. I recently just graduated from UNT with a Bachelor's of Science in English with a focus in writing and rhetoric and a double minor in communications and political science. And blah, 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 blah. Look, let's cut the crap. I'm not here to tell you about my life story, okay? Here's the deal. The reason why I'm standing here in relatively nice clothes with a microphone is because I don't think this district has been fairly represented for decades. And it's not because the people of this district aren't passionate or opinionated. It's because they're disengaged. Especially when it comes to these small state rep races. Sometimes we've proven ourselves to have the capacity to vote on issues and get things done. Now, years ago, before I was old enough to vote, and maybe even before I was alive, the people of Denton voted against demolishing this courthouse that was nearly replaced with a mall, which we all know how wonderful the Golden Triangle is. I mean, could you imagine one of those being in the middle of the square right now? And a couple years ago, we came together and decided that it should be okay to buy liquor in this city. Remember that? Yeah, almost 100 years after Prohibition. Yeah, that was cool. And do you guys remember when we also decided that we didn't want any more fracking in this town? But due to the powers that be, the state government, they said that we weren't allowed to do that, and then they banned the ban, which left many residential areas at risk. You know what's really messed up? The same elites that co-authored those bills are funding our politicians and our local political system. Some of them are even trying to control our historic downtown area. I mean, look around you. How many landmark businesses were closed in the last 5 years? And how many new businesses are owned by a handful of wealthy developers that are playing Monopoly on the square? You know, I think this kind of big money should be spent elsewhere. We, the people, need to come together and demand our state government actually invest in Texans. So, for example, I believe in a single-payer Medicare for all. Pharmaceutical companies and health insurers have held the lives of people and their families hostage for too long. With bills they're never able to pay if they're able to even afford a deductible at all. And when it comes to our veterans, we need to keep our promises by providing free health care along with affordable housing, job opportunities, and really anything to ease their transition from the battlefield into civilian life. There's so much more. There's so much more that we need to invest in. We need to raise teachers' wages. We need to increase funding per student, which in Texas is one of the lowest in the country. We're going to have to front the bill for the majority of the Harvey disaster aid. But even aside from that, Texas is going to need to rebuild at every sector. Now, Texas has already invested in solar and wind production, but it's not enough. It's not. We need to set the standard for the rest of the country by ramping up our renewable production and become the leading provider of green energy in the United States. But we can't just set up a GoFundMe for the state of Texas, and we really can't continue to rely on oil and gas revenue to support our futures. And you know, it's especially hard. It's really hard to talk about our futures right now when it seems like we've all taken, or we've been forced to take a giant step into the past. Am I right? Like, this district has always been an inclusive place. So why are we still fighting about whether or not the transgender people can use the damn bathroom? Why are we still fighting for DACA recipients to feel safe here? Why are we fighting for any immigrants to feel safe here? These things seem like a given, right? And I want to also know why our representatives aren't talking about the unfair incarceration rates among black and Hispanic individuals, especially for nonviolent offenses that are being committed at the same rate as whites. And where my women at? What up, ladies? Now, why aren't our representatives talking about the fact that a lot of women aren't able to advance in their careers just because they're women? Instead, our reps are sponsoring bills that require women to bury their fetal remains if they decide to have an abortion, which is ridiculous. So let me be clear, yes, I am pro-choice. And I think that as a white man, it's kind of ridiculous that I even have to tell you that, because it's none of my business, nor the government's business, to make these kinds of decisions for women anyway. If I remember correctly, the Supreme Court already granted women with the right to control their bodies half a century ago. So, what I'm trying to say is, we're in this together, okay? This isn't about me. This is about us. This is about our community. I'm definitely going to need all of your help. I'm not going to be taking any PAC money or corporate money. It's going to be a very transparent and a very grassroots campaign. And I look forward to talking to you guys about what you want to help change in the future for this district together. That's about all I have to say. I have Facebook up right now. I have petition sheets to get my name on the ballot if you haven't signed that already, and a volunteer sign-up form in that green folder over there. I got a bunch of little cute pictures of me with like platform stuff on it if you want it. We don't have business cards yet. So yeah, let's hang out and eat pizza, and if you guys want to go on like a bar crawl or something after this, I'm down. So, thank you guys.